Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? We got the news from Ian Rappaport on Sunday that the New Orleans Saints are bringing in a free agent wide receiver for a visit. Rappaport tweeted that Gabe Davis, formerly drafted by the Buffalo Bills, spent this past year in Jacksonville, is coming to New Orleans for a visit. Noted that he recently visited the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also noted that Gabe Davis got plenty of money coming from Jacksonville. I'll tell you more about that in just a quick second. So it would really just be a one-year, very affordable, approachable deal for whomever you would sign with. So it makes it really appealing for the Saints or anybody that would be looking to take a flyer on Gabe Davis. So just worth filing away there. A couple of things. I'll kind of give you the bio, why it makes sense for New Orleans, and what kind of the big concern is. First of all, Davis was a part of the 2020 draft. He played at UCF. Was part of the 2020 draft. He was a fourth-round pick of the Buffalo Bills. That was the Burrow draft, right? He was a fourth-round pick that year of Buffalo. So he's entering his sixth NFL season. He played 4 years in Buffalo and then was released after 2023 and was signed signed as a free agent after his rookie deal was up this past year with Jacksonville, and played in 10 games with 9 starts for the Jaguars. The unfortunate part is he did suffer a meniscus injury. So one of the reasons he was not signed by Pittsburgh after his visit there is they didn't clear him on the medical. So he's still not ready to go physically. But again, we'll get to more of that in just a second. When you talk about the player himself, he's played in 74 games. He's started 56 times. His career high came in 2022, where he had 48 catches for 836 yards and 7 touchdowns. For a guy that you're not looking to be your number one receiver, that you're looking to be someone who brings a different skill set, that checks a lot of boxes. But again, he had that big season in 2022, and then in 2023 in Buffalo, another very good season. 45 catches, 746, 7 touchdowns again. But then he went and got paid as a free agent by Jacksonville. And he was having a nice season this year and then had the knee injury in Week 11 that ended his season prematurely. He ended the season with just 20 catches and 239 yards. So you're talking about a guy who has been a productive 2 or 3. He's not your number one, but you've got that right now, presumably in Chris Olave and even Rashid Shaheed. And you've added Brandon Cooks as well, though you know my feeling on Brandon Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks is a carbon copy of Rashid Shaheed, who's 32 years old and is declining. Like, the Brandon Cooks signing didn't make a lick of sense to me because you signed effectively an older, expensive version of Rashid Shaheed. What this New Orleans Saints team doesn't have is size at the receiver position. You go look at the Saints receivers, and they're all kind of the same build. When you look at Brandon Cooks at 5'10", 190. Olave, 6 foot 187. Rashid Shaheed, 6 foot 180. I mean, all the guys you're counting on, pretty much the same. Even Dante Pettis is 6'1". Mason Tipton's 5'11". Chris Tyree is 5'10". The exception might be a guy like Bub Means, who is 6'2", 215, if he can make the squad. But Gabe Davis is 6'2", 225. He's almost like a shorter tight end. I mean, you look at a picture of Gabe Davis, he don't look like a receiver. He looks like a tight end, like a linebacker out there running around. I mean, he's a big, thick dude. So he gives you a different dimension in that pitch and catch game. Now, his reception percentage has never been great. And that's a little bit of a challenge, right? Like, for example, in that great season that he had in 2022, He was targeted 93 times and caught 48 passes. So right at 50% of his targets he caught. You'd love to obviously see that number higher. But mostly what I would say is you're looking at a guy here that is an experienced veteran, but a young veteran, right? Gabe Davis still is only 27 years old. I'm sorry, he's 26 years old. Forgive me, he's 26. He just turned 26 in April. So he just turned 26 years old. So he's still a young player who's got 5 years of NFL experience, entering year 6. He's been productive, and it's not like he was productive half a decade ago. He's productive 2 years ago. This past year, his production got limited because of the knee injury. So you do have the question of the knee injury, but then there's the affordability. So remember, because Jacksonville cut him, he's a free agent, so you don't have to trade for him. You can just sign him to a deal. And because Jacksonville had signed him as a free agent, he's going to make $11 million this year from Jacksonville. So Jacksonville's still got to pay him $11 million. So this is probably a veteran sign that's just a veteran minimum deal. He's not looking to go somewhere that's going to break him off. He's already getting paid by Jacksonville. So he just wants to go somewhere that's a fit where he can maybe make the team and start to rebuild his career after coming off of injury. So there's a lot of boxes that's checked. Now, he's already had visits with the Giants, the 49ers, and the Steelers, and none of them have signed him. So there is a little bit of question as to say, all right, if you visited 3 teams already and none of them have signed you, what's the rub? Maybe the knee, it's not looking good projectability-wise. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I have no idea any of the medical. But you just start to wonder, okay, you have a guy that is all the things I just mentioned. He's 26 years old. He's been a productive pro. He's a young veteran. By all accounts, a good dude, good teammate, good attitude, all that stuff. It's going to be super affordable. You don't have to give up an asset for him. Like, why wouldn't you take a veteran minimum flyer? Either he's asking for something outlandish, which according to Ian Rappaport's report doesn't seem to be the case, or he's just not physically ready. And if you're going to occupy a roster spot for someone that's not physically ready, you got to believe that they will be when that time comes. So we'll see how all that goes. When he was in Buffalo, if you're just circling back to like what it was like, around combine time in 2023, Sean McDermott, coach of the Buffalo, this is what he said at that time about Gabe Davis. This is when Gabe Davis was going into year 3. And year 3 ended up being, this was Gabe Davis going into year 4. This is what he said at the time.
I thought Gabe had a good year. I really did, and he didn't get off to a great start. There were some turbulent times maybe in the front third of the season, but the thing I thought he handled extremely well was that adversity, and came back. He went through a high ankle sprain, and then he came back and I thought really finished the year at moments in a good way. And he'll learn from that, the way Gabe is wired as well. This is a guy that when we drafted him was out running routes, on the field. So he's wired that way to come back and have a great third season.
I mean, that was going into 2022, which ended up being his career year, where he had 48 catches for 836 yards and 7 touchdowns. And then he backed it up with a really good 4th season as well. And then obviously he got the free agent contract with Jacksonville, was injured, and now he's where he is. So just one to file away. I don't know. I don't have a hard and fast feeling as to whether or not Gabe Davis is the guy. What I will tell you is I do firmly believe the Saints have to add a receiver with size. Maybe it's Gabe Davis. Maybe the medical doesn't check out. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe you take a flyer on him. We'll see how all that plays out. But between now and when the Saints kick off week 1, you have to add a big-bodied wide receiver. Unless if you're counting on Bub Means to make that parabolic run this year, which I don't know that I am, I'd feel much better with a veteran receiver with some size that's affordable that can give you that dimension in the passing game. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.